Hi everyone, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com, and today I have another video for you guys. This will be the last Christmas coloring video that I have this year for this season. I'm using another Power Poppy image here. This one is one of the Wreaths and it's called the Birch and Evergreens. It does come standard as a square image. I just stretched it a little bit in order to fit it into a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card, so your standard A2. I do believe when I cut down the image, it ends up being like 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then I mat it on cardstock and put it on the card base. So I'm just starting, and then I'm adding in the background. This took a lot of time to do this background, and it's just a lot of shading, and I started with the darker color and I'm going to the lighter, and I do believe I use a 0 once we get further into it, just to blend the image, or I mean just to blend the colors into more of a white so that it's got a little bit of a halo effect around the coloring when we finish. I started with this time simply because with the greenery that's on here, the green is going to go over top of this blue, especially where like the little springy, like the ferny type greenery is, I guess. So I have sped this one up to 3 times its original speed, and that's simply because everything is rather simple in this. I know it looks very intricate and detailed in the end, but I haven't done anything precise at all. Like I tend to kind of go freeform on my flowers and not blend and have everything nice and smooth. But when I'm doing, the cat's drinking, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but when I'm doing something like this especially, everything's kind of messy and haphazardly, and I like it that way. So we're into our next color for this here. I'm sorry, I didn't write down the colors and I can't read it on the tiny little screen on my computer from where I'm sitting right now. So I can't even tell you what color I'm using. I do believe it's probably B93, if I remember right, but I recorded this a couple of weeks ago, so it could be not right for all I know. So then B91, and I am pulling it way in. Now you can see how far I'm stretching the color going into these real light ones, and it's just kind of giving it a washy look. Like I said, everything's kind of haphazardly and nothing's real perfect. And I didn't blend it out as far on the outside. I liked having it fade into that white instead of going all the way to the edge of the card. And then here I come in with my 0 marker, and I go over top of everything. I'm not worried about the greenery, the letters, the branches, nothing. I'm just going in with that 0 marker, and I'm coloring over top of everything, getting it to fade out and blend together and meld really nice. So it's kind of pushing some of the colors through the paper and moving them around a little bit so they look a little lighter than they are. I was going to try and use the chisel nib, and it just wasn't working right. I prefer the brush nib, so I went back to that. And I was just flying through it. Like, this is 3 times speed, and look at how fast that pen's moving. So, I mean, I was giving her. Back over it one more time. And then we're going to start on the rest. So I'm going in and I'm using my E40 range to do the trees, or the tree branches, the birch. So I'm just going through and I'm following the artist drawn lines here. Marcella's really, really good about giving you lots of clues as to where the colors and the shading should be just with her line work, which is fantastic. I love it. The less I have to think, the better. So I'm going in and I'm following those lines and the little knots and everything, and I'm adding in this darkest color, and I'm just going to work my way around the whole image. And I turn my image. You'll see here I'll turn it right away. I usually turn it anyway. Sorry, I'm off screen there. Maybe not. There we go. I find it easier to do my lines horizontally instead of vertically, so I turn my image. And I mean, you want to be comfortable when you're coloring and you don't want to have to fight with it, so flip it around. I color upside down. I do all sorts of weird stuff when I color, especially when I'm not recording. When I'm recording video for you guys, I try and turn it a little less than I normally would. But when I'm just coloring just cause, I flip that image around all over the place. So our next color, and we're just blending everything out. I'm adding a few more of those shadowed areas just with the lighter color, and that'll carry on all the way around the image. This wreath is fantastic. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. So we're just carrying on around. I'm not sure what else to tell you guys because I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I'm just going over top of those darker places and adding a few more and slowly bringing it out into the white area. Not going over everything a whole bunch of times because, again, I don't want that smooth transition between colors. I don't mind the harsh changes and everything when it comes to things like this. Now we're starting to get into our lighter colors. When I take my hand away, I'm just kind of looking at the image going, okay, now where to? Did I get it all? It's usually making sure I've colored everything before I move on to the next part, or I'll forget to go back, and then it's a disaster. So then this is our lightest color, and I'm just scribbling it in and filling everything that's white completely in with this color, and then those branches are done. Nice and simple. Then we're going in and I'm starting on the greenery. So I'm starting with my darkest color and I'm just flipping it in random places, making sure that I space it out, kind of concentrating it to where everything clusters together because that would be shadowed and look the darkest to the eye. And we're just going to work our way out through the lighter ones. I think I'm using the E80 markers here. They're new in my collection. I like them. Here's a little more. I like using lots of different greens. It just makes everything feel more lifelike. And then Y11, which is my I put this in all of my greenery greens. Why, I'm not sure. It's just, I enjoy the way it looks and I always do it. It doesn't matter what the other combination is. I use Y11 99% of the time. And now we're just going to do our ropes that are tying everything together with our BV series. And that's it for this image. Super simple. I hope you guys enjoyed the coloring and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.